Okay, now we're going to do an overview of the GED English Language Arts exam. There's 3 sections: ELA reading, writing, and the essay. And we're going to go over the domains right now. Here's how the test works. There's 3 sections, like I just said: the reading, writing, the writing's correcting errors, and the essay. You have 150 minutes total. There's different question types: multiple choice, drag and drop, drop down, and essay. You have 45 minutes for the essay, and a score of 145 out of 200 is passing. After mathematics, this section tends to give students the most trouble. Information texts will often be American historical documents like the Bill of Rights. The social studies and science sections are similar in a lot of ways to the reading section because they have a lot of reading comprehension. Informational texts make up a surprising portion of the English Language Arts reading section of this exam. So first up, of the 3 domains, reading for meaning. I have a little asterisk up there because I'm going to consider the essay separately. Reading for meaning: events, plots, settings, and character. So you're looking at a story or an informational text, and you decide what's going on and in what order. Understanding the main idea and details. This is important because this comes up again when we're writing our essay. Okay, point of view and purpose. Tone and figurative language. That's the kind of literary devices and rhetoric the author may use. Organizing ideas, how the author has organized his or her ideas, and comparing ways of presenting texts. The second domain, identifying and creating arguments, the relationship of evidence to main ideas and events, drawing conclusions, making inferences, and evaluating evidence. Using data, graphs, or pictures as evidence. Extending your understanding to new situations. This means making text-to-text or text-to-self connections. The third domain, the writing domain, is grammar. It's about word usage, common errors, and agreement, like when to use there and there. Sentence structure, things like dangling modifiers, agreement. Transition words, conjunctions, and other transitions. And capitalization and punctuation. Some additional resources I'd recommend are the OWL Writing Lab at Purdue. That's available online. You can Google that, or I'll list the link below. And I'd really recommend reading a book called Eat Shoots and Leaves by Lynn Truss, which is an excellent book on grammar. Okay, the essay, that asterisk I mentioned up top. It is suggested that you may write a 5 to 7 paragraph essay with each paragraph having 3 to 7 sentences. The way it works is you are given 2 text selections. You must pick the point supported by the evidence most strongly and argue that in response to a prompt. I will instruct you on how to write a 5-paragraph essay with an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion during this review course. Here's how the review course works. Just as math requires doing problem sets, guided practice is necessary in language arts as well. It's important that you read. Outside of the GED exam, the best way to build these reading comprehension skills is going to be reading. Language arts requires very long, in-depth examples of passages for reinforcement. Many of the non-in-depth slides are simply review. I strongly recommend purchasing a book such as The Kaplan and taking a GED course at a community college or other authorized service provider in your area. Guided practice, just as the math requires doing problem sets. Guided practice is necessary in language arts as well. I'm going to refer to them in the course, but these materials are often available separately. On the Blackboard version of the course, look at the resources indicated in the lesson. On the YouTube version, course materials may be linked in the box below. Click More. Some materials may not be available because they cannot be linked or if the hyperlink no longer functions. you will see a pencil icon on the slide preceding a guided practice exercise. These videos will be longer and you need to have the resource open to follow along. In-depth. Language arts requires very long, in-depth examples of passages for reinforcement. I refer to them in the course, but these materials are often available separately. On the Blackboard version of the course, look at the resources indicated in the lesson. On the YouTube version, course materials may be linked in the box below. Click More. Some materials may not be available because they cannot be linked or the hyperlink no longer functions. If you are just looking for a review, which is fine, you can skip these, but these go more in-depth than the guided practice and will teach foundational skills. So if maybe you haven't been in school in a while, you may want to take a look at these. I will say we're going in depth, and the slides preceding have a man digging. These videos will be longer, and you need to have the resource open to follow along. So have the resource in front of you. Open it up while you're watching the video. Pause when I say pause.